Welcome to Darling Stadium, everybody. Mike Hauser along with Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and Brent Musgrove. State semifinal action in the state of Virginia here. The Division V season has come to a close here as we got one more game following today. The teams today, the Hampton Crabbers, the home team, will, with an 11-1 record, will be playing host to Massaponax, the Panthers, out of Fredericksburg, 12-0 on the season. We will send down to Bob Hintz with the Massaponax coach, head coach Eric Luden, as he has him on the sidelines right now.
I got Massaponax coach here, Eric Luden. And, Coach, first of all, congratulations getting this far, because that's always part of your game plan.
Well, thank you very much. It's been good so far.
Tell me a little bit about your team. I know that you're the only coach that's been over there, so that you've been able to put your system in and nobody else before you. But tell me a little bit about your team.
Well, this year's team, a lot of seniors back. We had 16 starters returning from last year's team, which lost a heartbreaker in overtime to the eventual state runner-up in the regional championship. So, we have some guys that are real happy about making it this far.
Well, I know we talked about a young kid by the name of Brian Allen that just is an inspiration to your team. Tell us a little bit about that young man.
Well, Byron's a 4-year starter for us, both sides of the ball. In Game 6, he broke his leg and had to have surgery, and he's worked extremely hard. We thought there was no way he would come back, but he proved us all wrong, and he's out here today, and he's going to make his comeback, we hope.
Well, good enough. Well, listen, tell me what you expect from the Crabbers today.
Excellent team. A lot of speed, big play potential, and that really concerns us. We have to try to contain them on offense, and their defense pursues very well, and they have good speed there too.
Right, and just one more thing, Coach. As you get ready for the game, does it make any difference playing in the afternoon than normal Friday nights? Do you have to do something different with your team?
Well, yeah. I mean, this has been a different week. We had an extra day, and we had to try to prepare a little bit differently because they've been on one schedule all year for 12 games. So yeah, it is a bit different. Yeah.
Well, listen. Good luck to you this afternoon, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Good enough. Well, let's go up to the booth and where Mike is.
All right. Thanks, Bob. Yeah. Last week the Massaponax Panthers played EC Glass out of Lynchburg and won the Northeast or the Northwestern Region Championship by a score of 28-7. Last week, the Hampton Crabbers came in here to Darling Stadium for the Eastern Regional Finals and took on a familiar foe themselves in the Phoebus Phantoms and took care of defeating the Phantoms by a score of 29-7. So what we'll do now is we'll pass it down to the field again where Bob has Coach Mike Smith of the Crabbers ready for an interview.
Hi, I got Coach Mike Smith here with the Crabbers. And, Coach, first of all, congratulations. I know one of your goals is to get to the playoffs. You got that, and you got a big game today.
We got a very big game today. When you get down here, you play them once a time. It's a very good football team. Our kids have worked hard this week, so I think they'll play well.
Well, I'll tell you, last week you guys played such a good game, and I thought the coaches called a good game and just put the Phantoms back on their heels. They never got into the game all game long, but your defense really stepped up.
Well, I think our defense played well all year. I thought they played well last week. We kind of put that one behind us on Monday morning and really haven't thought too much about it. It was just, we had a good day, and probably they didn't play their best game, and so we need to play good again today, and maybe these guys won't play their best game.
Well, these guys are pretty good size. You mentioned that in the newspaper.
Yeah, they've got good size. Have a large team, a very good football team, so I'm sure that it's going to be a competitive ball game.
Right. Now, this team's similar in what they run at like Lake Taylor?
No, they're a little different. They run a lot of option. They run dive option, midline, run a little counter back off of it. Lake Taylor's in a split back veer. These guys run out with a fullback with the slots. I guess you would label it in the old days as a broken bone when people come out of the wishbone and went to the slots in the wing and ran it.
Yeah, they refer to them as a wing back.
Yeah, they run they might call them wing backs. They're two little wings or two little slots over there, 'cause most of the time they're split, but if they got to tie it in, he becomes a wing. They can call him anything he wants to, but The halfback's usually in motion.
Well, one other thing, Coach, before we go, we want to congratulate you again. This weather in playing today has got to make you feel good to play at this time of the year.
Well, you know what? We feel good playing this time of year, no matter what the weather is. But, we're thankful that it's a good day for both teams. Opportunity to play in this type of weather is good. We're just very happy to be playing today.
Right. Well, good luck to you this afternoon, Coach.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
Enough. Let's go up to Mike, and we have the sponsors for today's game.
All right, today's game is brought to you by Zoom Sitco with locations throughout the peninsula. Subway, located 1807 East Pembroke Avenue, where great subs, salads, and wraps. Tanya's Super Pet Center, where pets are not just animals, at 49 West Mercury Boulevard, and in part by Eric Thompson, Realtor. Call Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Call 881-2004. And in part by Parkline Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armstead Avenue, where Nancy Staten is the manager.
Oh, Nancy said we got
Statens all over the place.
We got one up here guarding us. So, I mean, we have so many people wanting to get up here. He is keeping the door. And, of course, we're talking about Ronnie, the big hitter on the golf team.
Today's should be an exciting ball game today. You got an undefeated team in Massaponax coming in here 12-0, and they have put up a lot of points on the board this year.
Mike, they are a big team, and I went through and looked at the size of them, and the offensive line is 1,247 pounds there. They average 250 a man. They just good size. They've got a young man with quarterback, Jay Kennedy, number 5. This is his third year starting, fourth year playing. He played running back and defense his first year as a freshman. So he's got 4.6 speed in the 40, which is a pretty good size. Got a 30-inch vertical leap. So we're talking about some athletes on this team, but I just don't know, Mike, if they're as fast as the Hampton Crabbers.
That is definitely the key. I'm not sure whether they've seen a team with the speed like Hampton has this year. Their quarterback, like you were talking about, though, looking at him on the ball field reminds me a lot of an ex-Hampton player, Marcus Higgins, who plays at the University of Virginia, 5'10", and he's built a whole lot like Marcus is. He's got a strong arm.
Real strong arm. He's rushed this year for 1,006 yards and 10 TDs, and his pass for 6 TDs with 561. But they're not a passing team per se. They'll use the pass more to keep you honest, but they're going to run the ball, as Coach Smith was saying. They'll do a lot of traps. They'll run the option, almost like a veer option type of situation. And the two guys you got to look out for is Thaddeus Kruggs, who is just a sophomore. He had to step in when the young man broke his leg, and he's had 551 yards rushing. And their fullback, E.J. Wilson, 931 yards. So those two young men together have almost 1,500 yards rushing, Mike. So, that's a lot of rushing yardage against some pretty good opponents up in their neck of the woods.
Well, why don't we take a look down on the field now where Hampton High School's band is now playing our national anthem.
Crabber marching band. Just a little comparison with the two quarterbacks. Again, Jay Kennedy is had 51 yards passing and 6 TDs. You compare that to Tyrod Taylor. He had 19 TDs and passed for 1,362 yards. So you can see Hampton not only probably passes a little bit more, but as Hampton goes, that's what Taylor does. If Taylor's playing good, and boy, we saw him play a tremendous game last week. Just phenomenal, some of the moves he made. And I remember the one of the second touchdowns, you and I were watching it, where he was stopped at the line of scrimmage and then spun and dove stretched the ball across the end line to get a touchdown.
It was amazing looking at the newspaper's picture. The picture on the newspaper the following day was him stretching across at the goal line.
Yeah.
And that was a remarkable play. And you're right about one thing. As Hampton goes, will be dictated upon Taylor's play. It has been all season. He's been the leader on this team from start to finish. And one of the weak points that the Crabbers have had during the year was their receiving corps. And last week the receiving corps came alive, and it really helped them neutralize and keep the Phoebus Phantom football team off the field, and that was a key win for the Crabbers.
Yeah, not only off the field, but a little off balance. I think would be a good way to look at what happened to the Phantoms last week. I want to talk to you a little bit about what we're going to do this afternoon, Mike. We're going to pick 2 players of the game. We're going to try to get an offensive defensive player for the Crabbers, and they'll get a shirt, and it comes from Tidewater Team Sports. Now, they're located at 11839 B Cannon Boulevard in the Oyster Point section of Newport News. It's your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniform, and apparel. Give them a call at 594-0411 and talk to either David Chubb or Terry McNamara. Now, you looked at what this team has done, and undefeated. They've given up very few points and have scored a lot of points. But again, we don't know what their district is as tough as the Peninsula District. You and I know that the Peninsula District is one of the toughest districts in the state. So.
Well, you have to look at one major factor in last week's regional championship game that Massaponax played in. They played EC Glass, who had 4 losses during the year and was seeded number 2 in the region.
Yeah.
So again, you're in a situation now where it's you win, you continue, you lose, you go home.
You look up there in that area, in that region, you've got less teams than we got down. Let's go down to the field. Mike is not turned on, but as we can see, he's given the instructions to the team. I don't know. Sometimes they'll do a pre-game flip of the coin to see what team's going to win the toss and go offense or defense. So we'll pick it up right now as he's doing the flipping. And
Hampton's won the toss. So let's see whether they're going to defer or take it right off here. All right, as you can see, our referee, and that is, by the way, Jim Collins from the Northern Virginia Football Association. The Crabbers have won the toss and elected to receive. And I have the officials here. And they are, the referee is Jim Collins. The umpire is Randy Perry. The lineman is Mark Sable. The line judge is Mike Ellis. The back judge is LaTroy McFadden. And the field judge is Donnie Moyer, with the side judge being Gene Tate. They are from the Northern Virginia Football Officials Association. So they're coming down here from the D.C. area where they do all their games to take care of the state semifinal game here at Darlin Stadium.
We have the head coach over there, Eric Ludden. He's assisted by John Schinberger, Joe Garlick, Woody Perry, Nathan Yates, Marshall Keene, Eric Shelley, Matt Brothald, Jeff Drugzaw, and a few other coaches. We got the offense for the Crabbers coming up.
Starting offense for the Crabbers, Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. To split in is Sharon Childress. Tailback is Jacoby Fenner, along with Justin Clemens, the fullback. The wide receivers is Isaac Hill and Sean Fields.
We'll give you the
linemen Trent Richardson, Chris Ragsdale, Sean Childress, Isaac Kane, and Chris Garcia. That's your lineman on the offense.
They've done a great job of protecting.
But they did a tremendous job last week against the Phoebus Phantoms.
Not only gave him plenty of time to find the receivers, but also opened up some nice holes for him also. We'll give you the Panthers starting on defense in just a second.
There seems to be a problem right now with the officials coming over here to talk to Mike Smith. I'm not sure what this might be, but it has something to do with, it looks like it might have something to do with the equipment problem.
Let's see if we got the defense. If we're ready, we'll put them up there, and then you get a good look at them. We got Ryan McGee, Brandon White, Devin Collins, Josh Wine, Keith Rich, and Josh Trevino. Those are your linebackers and cornerbacks. On the front line, you got Zach Zeffley, Tony Horn, Dominic Smith, Robert Kay, and at safety, Brian Allen, the young man who broke his leg in the 6th game of the season. So it's good to see him back, and maybe he'll bring an inspiration to this team today.
This is Spencer Bolin, number 12 for the Panthers, getting ready to kick off.
Who we got deep down there? Looks like
Taylor, number 1. Let's see. That looks like Jacoby Fenner is one of them that's back there deep, and this was going to be cut and hit short at the 23 by one of the upbacks, and he carries the ball to the 33. That was number 20 for the Crabbers, and that was Donovan Cotton on the carry for the kickoff.
And the Crabbers are coached by Mike Smith, assisted by Alvis Mann, Danny Mitchell, Kenny Gilliam, Weymouth Williams, Myron Newsom, George Massenberg, Butter Williams, and Darius Donahue.
So here we go. First and 10 for the Crabbers, their opening drive of the game from their own 33-yard line. Taylor behind center. Back to pass on the first down, deep down the left sideline. And it was intended, and it looks like it should have been interference. And yes, indeed, it came down. That was intended for number 9, Isaac Hill. And the ball was a little bit underthrown.
But he did a good job of trying to come back to the ball, and that's where the penalty fall.
Cut underneath him as he was going over him, and there's where the interference called. There it is. Good call.
Good call. That'd just be 15 yards. That's not a spot foul, as you will find in the pros. That is a foul. That is a 15-yard penalty. But that great protection.
That should put the ball first and 10 for the Crabbers at their own 49. Once they determine where the spot of the foul is.
Defensive pass interference, White, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That was a good shot, job by the official there, giving us the call.
So they set the ball just outside of the Crabber 48, and the Crabbers will have a first and 10.
You'll see that the Massaponax plays basically a 4-4 and an even man front.
Fenner on the carry, forced to go outside after he wanted to go up the middle, and he ends up, looks like he might lose about a half a yard.
Yeah, he sure did. The hole was plugged up, and he tried to bounce it outside, but you can see the kind of pursuit that the Massaponax Panthers bring to the table.
I got a feeling because of the size of the Panthers up front that Hampton might be better off doing a lot of wide running outside. Try to utilize their speed.
Well, they tried to go up wide that time and end up losing a yard after the hole was plugged up. But Crabbers always do a good game plan. And there's the option.
Pitch out here to, I believe that's Clemens. I believe it's 23, Justin Clemens on the carry. He gets outside of the 50 into Panther territory for a gain of about 3.
That was That's 75. Look at that lineman. That young man can run. That's Dominic Smith, 6'3", 282. And, boy, does he show some speed for a big guy. The young man that ended up making the tackle that time was number 3, and that's Devon Collins, 5'8", 170 junior.
That was a gain of 4 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 6 now for Hampton.
Well, about 5 because he'd actually came from 11 yards out.
A screen pass out here to Clemens, and that's good for a first down inside of the 40-yard line down near the 38.
I don't know if you picked it or not, but Danny Mitchell on the sideline motioned first down. That was a nice little swing pass, and just right on over he probably picked up about an extra yard or 2 than he needed for the first down. But one thing that you can do with these swing passes is it makes your linebackers hesitate a little bit, and that might open up your running game a little more.
There's a handoff up the middle to Clemens. He's wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. That's going to bring up a second down and 10 from the 38-yard line.
Josh Wine, number 45. This is a big linebacker. He's 6 foot, just a junior, 254, playing that linebacker spot. He was on the bottom of that pile. Well, actually, he's playing inside backer.
Split out 2 to the near side, 1 to the top of the screen as Taylor drops back again to throw. There's a pass over the middle, wide open. 5, 10, it's the touchdown Hampton. That is to Jacoby Finner.
Jacoby
as he
Finner
goes 38 yards for the score.
That's what Hampton loves to do, is get the ball and just drive it right down the field right at the beginning, and that's exactly what they do. Watch this replay. Plenty of time. What a great job the offensive line did, and then after Jacoby caught the ball, there's no way that number 1 is going to catch him, number 1 being Octavius Williams.
That was a pretty play, too, because Finner was wide open coming out of the backfield. This is Matt Mitchell in now to kick the extra point out of the hold of number 21, Sean Fields. There's the snap. The kick is up, and it is
good.
So with 9:10 to go here in the opening period of play, the Hampton Crabbers have taken the early lead by a score of 7-0 over the Panthers from Massaponax.
I tell you, the Crabbers just moved down the ball now. They weren't able to run on them right away, but Mike, that later on, these passes going to open up some running for them, and especially with Taylor.
Let me ask you, did you happen to take an eyeball of the way the defense went after the extra point? They came out of their stance and stood there. They didn't even rush the kicker.
I didn't even pay any attention to it. That's unusual.
So, 7-0 Hampton early here in the first period of play as they take the opening kickoff and drive. Let's see, I believe they took it from their own 32, so that would be a 68-yard drive.
One of our stats guys will have it for sure. A cool, crisp autumn day. It's not winter yet, but it's closing in on it. Good football weather.
Bassett will be kicking off for the Crabbers. Here's the kickoff, and it is taken at the 17-yard line. He was stopped and got away from the first initial hit and then turns right around and gets leveled.
They're going to give him, watch the offense here for the Massaponax offense. We got quarterback James Kenny, fullback E.J. Wilson, wingback Thaddeus Scruggs, 2 wideouts, Octavius Williams and Chase Rice, and the tight end is D.J. Hickman. And the front 5, we got center Ryan Kaywood, the guards Michael Easel and Anthony Miota, the tackles Ben Powell and Jonathan Wang.
Massaponax starts off with 2 wideouts, top and bottom. There's a man in motion, and I believe the Crabbers jumped offside.
Yeah, and
as soon as that man went into motion, that's when they jumped.
Well, you'll see. Watch, here's the Crabbers on defense.
Here's the defensive stars. That's Evans, Finner, Bassett, Childress, Brown, and Tyrod Taylor as the cornerback. Lineman is Tim Richardson, Willie Hainsworth.
Before the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Wilson, Wardrett, and Meekins are the remaining. That was a 5-play drive for the Crabbers for the score.
Right to the fullback, right up the middle.
And Taylor runs him down inside a Hampton 20-yard line. That's a big run.
I tell you, that young man popped through the center of that line.
That goes for 51 yards.
And that's the fullback, E.J. Wilson. As you watch the replay, E.J. is a senior, 5'9", 192, and he shows some pretty good speed. But Taylor and somebody else caught him.
The Massaponax on their first actual play after the 5-yard penalty gets 51 yards down to the Crabber 19, 1st and 10. Jay Kinney, the quarterback. And he keeps this one. Tries to jump outside, puts the ball on the ground, but I believe they're going to rule him down.
He's going to rule him down, yeah.
And nice play by the Crabbers there.
But right after him, did a good job.
2nd down and 9 after a yard gained by Massaponax. The Panthers from Fredericksburg area of the state of Virginia.
Only been in existence 6 years, and Coach Ludden is the only coach that they've had.
Misdirection handed off to number 28.
He ran into a host of Crabbers.
That was Thaddeus Scruggs on the carry for the Panthers, down inside the Crabber 15 to about the 14.
Tim Richardson, great job that time staying home and not getting fooled by the misdirection.
Gain of 4. That'll be 3rd down and 5 now for the Panthers. And off. Oh, he keeps the ball and gets down near the 10, but he will be a good yard, maybe 2 shy.
Oh, yeah, he's well short. I tell you, the Crabbers did some gang tackling that time.
So that's going to bring up a 4th down and 2 for the Panthers as their field goal kicking team comes in.
Led by Jacoby Fenner.
4th down and 2, Panthers. Like number 12, their field goal kicker, and that's Spencer Boland, will now attempt a 27-yard or 28-yarder.
But one thing you got to be aware of is trying to draw them offside.
Oh, and they almost blocked it.
It looks like it's good.
And it's good. So the Panthers drive on their first series of downs down the field and kick a 28-yard field goal.
And they didn't run many plays either, maybe 4, 5, 6 plays.
But a 51-yard pass or a 51-yard run up the middle was a major factor, not having to – would they have 5 total plays to get the field goal?
Well, that's what I'm saying, because I know Hampton only used 5, so I was trying to figure out how many plays that they used. But Crabbers stiffened when they needed to. We have seen this in the past, that you get a team down inside the red zone, Mike, and they cannot bring it in. Because the Crabbers are they just get real tough down inside the end zone.
It's amazing watching them play some of the teams this year, including Phoebus, when it was like they gave a lot during the field. When they got towards the red zone inside the 20, they really stiffened up a lot.
Yeah, they'll bend, but they won't break.
So the Panthers drive down the field, but they've got a kicker that can kick some field goals. We sat here and watched them during pregame warm-ups, and he was hitting 45 and 50-yarders. So the boys got a foot.
He does that. This Coach Ludden, before he went to Massaponax, he coached at Cortland High School and J.E.B. Stewart High, so he's got a lot of experience.
Here's the kick. It's all the way down as it hits a player but goes into the end zone, so it's a dead ball at that point. Once the ball hits that goal line, it's automatically brought out to the 20. So the Crabbers will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Zooms, we're proud to have David Allen and Zoom sponsors again this year. Zoom supports the student athletes in the city of in the Hampton City Schools. We welcome our new corporate sponsor, Tonya Super Pet Center, located at Langley Square Shopping Center. The aquatics department features over 22,000 gallons of fresh and saltwater fish. They're located at 49 West Mercury Boulevard.
Here we go. The Crabbers have 4 wide receivers this time, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. He's back to pass and being pressured, and he runs it out of bounds at about the original line of scrimmage. So they didn't have anything to open up for him that time. So he's forced out of bounds.
But he did a great job of trying to find a receiver and avoiding a strong hit as we watch the replay. The Subway is another one of our new corporate sponsors. They're located at 1807 East Pembroke Avenue. Order the box lunch or the party platter special for your next group meeting. Locally owned by Heath Patel and operated in the Buckrow Beach area. Your choice of mouth-watering ingredients in salad, subs, and wraps.
Pitches out to Clemens that time. He's going to end up losing 2 as when he made his cut inside, he slipped in the turf and fell down. So they're going to lose about a yard on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and a little bit more than 11.
I tell you, I'd call it 12, but this is where Hampton excelled last week when the Phantoms did get him in 3rd and long. They were able to pick up a 1st down.
Isaac Hill comes into the lineup. He's one of their main featured wide receivers. Fenner is split to the left side.
He's in the slot.
Back to pass is Taylor. Waiting for a receiver to open up. Is a long pass down the sideline at the 40-yard line, but it's overthrown to, I believe that's Meekins, number 22.
Well,
so that's going to bring up a 4th down play.
I think Meekins just did. If you watch him, it just looks like he slows down a little bit instead of kept right on running. And then when he tried to get to the ball, it was just a little bit overthrown. So that brings up a kicking situation.
You happen to see where the ball landed? Right dead on the 40-yard line at the sideline. So that would have been a nice pass down the sideline if Meekins had got to it. Punting now is Meekins. Line drive punt. That's Kenny at the 45 of Hampton, and he carries the ball down to the Crabber 30.
Wow. What great field position the Panthers have.
Only about a 25 or 30-yard punt on the play. So the Crabbers will be defending now as on the defense. Massaponax takes over 1st and 10 right at the Crabber 30-yard line.
The winner of this game will play the winner of the Matoka Stonebridge game, which has been playing up in Stonebridge. That's the other semifinals of the Division V championship.
And on a keeper, he picks up, leans forward and picks up about a yard.
It was a good job by the Crabbers to come up and stop that, and that was young number 23 for the Crabbers. That's Justin Clemens, a young man who also runs the ball, 5'7", 165 senior.
Pick up a just shy of 2. We'll call it 2nd down and 8. Panthers.
Big fullback at the ball.
Big fullback up the middle again. Nice run. That's number 6. E.J. Wilson, as he picks up a 1st down and gets down to the Crabber 15-yard line.
This guy is showing some power when he gets the ball and just breaking tackles. Big O 65 is leading the way. That's 56, I believe, the center.
Got their offensive line spread out pretty good there, didn't they? Hand it off again to number 6.
And he just keeps right on moving and moving
Wilson
his feet.
Down inside the 10. Gain of about 5 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 5.
Young man is picking up good yardage, and he's being hit at the line of scrimmage, but he keeps right on going. Picked up another 4 yards after he was hit.
2nd down and 5 now for the Panthers at the Crabbers' 10-yard line as they are, after the Crabber punt, their second series of plays, driving down the field now, threatening to score.
Quarterback
the keeper
that
again.
time.
This time he's going to lose about 3 yards on the play.
And that's Jacoby Fenner in on the stop.
But look where they're going to mark the ball. Why are they putting the ball all the way back up to the 10-yard line when he was tackled at the 3?
They moved it back to the 5, Mike.
To the 10. They're saying he got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's where his forward motion stopped. But I thought after he spun off the initial tackle and then was brought down 3 yards back is where the ball should have been put, because he was still a live runner at that time. But they put the ball at the 10, 3rd down and 5.
This is a big 3rd down play.
It's a keeper again. This time nothing. He got stopped right at the line after he faked the handoff to Wilson. Crabber's defense again comes up big, stops him with no gain.
Anthony Wardette was one of the tacklers that time.
That was number 20 that got the initial hit. That was Cotton. They're going to go 4th down and 5.
Maybe they're trying to draw him offside.
They have 2 wideouts split to the near side.
But if they don't make it, they figure their defense can stop the Crabbers.
It's a handoff to number 6, Wilson again.
He
gets 6 yards out of 1st down. First and 10. That's going to be first and goal now for the Panthers as they get inside of the Crabber 5-yard line on that 4th down play. They had him stopped, too, about 3 yards short, and he spun out of it.
Wrap him up and hold him. This really will test the Crabber defense right now. First and goal from the 4. And off this time to number 33. It looked like he got in.
The referee over there is going to say he's a yard short. That was number 33 on the carry, Ryan McGee.
McGee.
Here's a replay of it. So he gets down to just inside the 1-yard line, 2nd goal.
That might just be a quarterback keeper here.
This one goes to number 28, and that's touchdown by Thaddeus Scruggs as the Panthers now take the lead 9-7 over the Crabbers.
The Scruggs is a sophomore that stepped in when Allen broke his leg, just a sophomore.
So after the Crabbers' second possession ends in a 3-and-out punt.
Well, and given the possession on the 30-yard line.
They gave him the 1st and 10 at the Crabber 30-yard line after a return of the punt of about 15 yards. Extra point attempt is blocked. So the Crabbers come through and block the extra point and now trail Massaponax by a score of 9-7 with 1:40 left here in the opening period of play.
You got to take your hat off to the Panthers. They did a great job, especially on that 4th down, needing 5 yards, and the big fullback, E.J. Wilson, picking up 6 to give them a 1st and goal, and took it on in from there. They are a big running team they've got a lot of strength.
One of the things they talked about during the week, you read a lot about it in the paper with defensively, the Crabbers, in order to be able to control this type of offense, they're going to have to stay at home and make sure that they take care of their position.
Now, there's certain keys that they're looking for. You can't go with the flow of the backs sometimes because they will run a trap and a inside handoff, almost like a reverse.
This is a kickoff by Boland right up the middle of the field into the end zone where the Crabbers will take over again, 1st and 10 at their own 20.
That young man's got quite a leg on him, number 12, Spencer Boland, a senior. Crabbers get a 1st and goal, 1st and 10 from their 20.
We'll see what they can do here to counteract that drive by the Panthers and come back and go on a scoring drive of their own. 1st and 10 for the Crabbers at their own 20-yard line. 1:40 left in the first period. Massaponax is now leading 9-7 over the Crabbers. 3 wide outs. Taylor back to pass again over the middle, overthrown. The intended receiver was number 10, Rod Childress.
Childress, who plays the flex end for the Crabbers, just a little high. He got his hands on it, but he's got to come down with that ball.
That's a 6'2" young man out there on a receiving pattern, and the ball was overthrown. He was open. This is Jacoby Fenner coming into the lineup now for the Crabbers.
Bringing into play for Mike Smith.
2nd down and 10 from their own 20. Hill is split wide to the left. Taylor on a keeper around the left end. He's tripped up and gets out near the 25-yard line.
Pick up a couple of yards.
You can see Mike Smith telling.
Well, actually going to spot it at about the 21.
It's going out of bounds. Thought he got up near the 25. Our replay didn't show that his foot went out of bounds. 3rd down and 8 now from the 22. 4 wideouts, 2 to the top of the screen. There's that shovel pass up the middle. Clemens on a keeper. He's out to about the 27 before he's forced out of bounds.
He's short of the first down. He needed to get to the 30.
Von Collins forced about, number 3.
We saw that shuffle pass worked last week quite a bit, but they've got him going more.
4th down and 4 from their own 27. And are they actually going to go on it?
They're going to try to draw him offside.
Well, there he went. He didn't get the flag, though. Looked to me like number 45 and 56 jumped over there, but he must not have gone into the neutral zone, so the Crabbers will call timeout. That's almost a patented play by the Crabbers for many years.
Got to be well disciplined not to.
The outside guy, I thought, went across.
Well, he jumped, but it doesn't. We can't tell from this angle whether he got into the neutral zone or not.
Talk about the field. Look how the shape that this field's in after up to 3 games a week or 2 games a week during the season. And Malloy and the crew here at Darling Stadium did a great job getting this field ready for this game.
I looked this time. I looked for the Crabbers to punt, but it looks like they're going to go for it.
4th down and long 3. Crabbers.
Well, let's see what they do.
Taylor behind center. They have 2 wideouts to the top of the screen. That's a pitch out that is well covered, but he gets away from it, gets the first down.
What a gutsy call.
As he picks up about 5 yards on the play, and I believe that was Clemens, wasn't it? I thought number 75 had him back there. That was Clemens getting out there, and he picks up 5 yards on what you called a gutsy play, 4th down and 3. Inside of their own 30-yard line, but they pick up enough yards for the first down.
That was a great play, and you see some of that speed that the Massaponax big guys got. That was number 75, Dominic Smith, 6'3", 282.
Back to pass is Taylor. He scoots to the right side, down the sideline. He's open. Only one player left to get him, and he gets by him. It looks like Taylor's going to go all the way in for the score.
And that's the X factor that the Massaponax team, no flag on the play, but
68 yards.
How do you defend that?
68 yards.
I tell you, big old 75, Dominic Smith thought he had him. Well, that's 79 right there. 79 is the young man that he just ran right outside of his hands. That's 79. That is.
And that was a great cutback right there, too.
Anthony Mahota, he is 6'6", 245.
Well, the Crabbers go after a gutsy 4th down and 3 inside of their own 30 and score. Matt Mitchell for the extra point attempt. It is up and good. Now the Crabbers back out in front by a score of 14-9 with 30 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Let's see that play again if we can, Scotty. What a great run by Tyrod Taylor, making people miss and then cutting back. And the last guy who had a shot for him didn't get him. Watch him right here, just a fake, and nobody open. So I'm going to go right through here. Cut to the right, go down, pick up a couple blockers.
Once he got past 11, he had wide open lane.
Yeah, number 11 had a shot at him, and then at the end, nobody got him. And number 11 is Chase Rice. Just couldn't catch him.
Tell you what,
that came because of a beautiful and a tough call on 4th down that the Crabbers made. What a gutsy call.
Well, the first time he called it and went out there and he was going to, you knew what he was doing. We knew that he was going to attempt to draw him offside. But after they called timeout, we all figured that Hampton would go ahead and punt.
Well, so did Massaponax. they had to be very surprised when they went for it at their own 30-yard line.
Bassett will kick off for the Crabbers. Kick off down to the 15-yard line. He's at the 35 to 40 and pulled down at the 45-yard line.
That's 32. Clemens again in on the – I'm sorry, not 32. 32 is not Clemens. 32 is Billy Evans making the stop.
That was Thaddeus Scruggs, number 28, on the carry. Nice return of the kickoff from the Crabbers. Now the Panthers will take over 1st and 10 just outside their own 45-yard line.
Well, they've had great field position today.
Well, their special teams have done a good job getting those field position, keeping the field position for the Panthers during the game. 31 seconds left in the first period. Flag on the play. I believe a Crabber jumped early.
Yeah, just a little quick. They bring that man in motion, number 11 for the Panthers. Chase Rice goes in motion, and when he went in motion, the Crabber came across, and that's encroachment.
Before the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So now the ball rests inside of the Crabber territory, just shy of the Hampton 49. First down and 5 now for Massaponax. Kenny again is under center. There's number 11 in motion.
Fullback gets the ball again.
And he picks up about 9 yards on the play down to the Crabber 41. That's good for a first down.
Number 22, Aubrey Minkins and Fenner combined to make the tackle that time.
Well, I'm looking at Kenny right now, and he's in the process of trying to shake off a few cobwebs because one of the Crabbers just after he handed off leveled him. First down at 10 from the Crabbers 42.
Boy, quarterback
Kenny
on
a keeper. Going to pick up about 3 yards, and then he is absolutely thrown back by a bunch of Crabbers. He picks up about 3 yards on the play, and then he just absolutely went in the opposite direction.
That is number 62 for the Crabbers, along with 22-62, Tim Richardson and Aubrey Minkins on the bottom of that, and that brings us to the end of the first quarter play.
What a first quarter play here at Darling Stadium. State semifinal action between the Hampton Crabbers and the Massaponax Panthers. 14-9 with the Crabbers out in front.
Second half, excuse me, Mike. Second half, Zooms has Citgo Gas, Krispy Kreme Donuts, hot prepared food. Zooms is proud to present the Eagle Award, which recognizes athletes who have exceeded in academics. Zooms all over the peninsula. Tonya Super Pet Center, located at Langley Square Shopping Center, where the dog and cat supplies, they have them by the thousand. Tonya's main feature is the pet knowledge of the staff, and a Subway at 1807 East Pembroke Avenue, where Heath Patel is the owner. Drive in, drive up, or order the box lunch or party platter special. Subway at 1807 East Pembroke Avenue. Give them a call, 722-9513. And we do appreciate Subway, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
Well, they feed us. I mean,
Right.
Before
you don't
every
have to
game,
say anything else.
Before every game, they bring we get 2 trays from them that are just absolutely slammed full.
And then
of
the
subs,
third
and the third tray is all Bob Kelly.
That's right.
Yeah, that's all cookies.
Well, he doesn't get them all. Brent Musgrove gets his share.
He gets his share?
Yeah, oh, yes. He gets his share.
Second down and 8 now as we get ready to start second period of play. Crabbers out in front, 14-9 over the Panthers. Kenny again keeps the ball. He gets about 2 yards and gets hammered backwards.
Fenner is on the tackle along with try to pick up the number on the other young man. Looks like
22. I believe that's
22.
Minkins,
That's Minkins again. I tell you, Minkins doing a good job on defense.
He's picking Kenny's picking when he carries the ball. He picks up about 2 yards on the play and then just is hammered. Not sure what the holdup here is, but the referee just now puts the ball back in play. Third down and 5 now for the Panthers.
I think the Crabbers got too many players on the field. Unless I'm not counting right. not counting right.
There's a handoff again to number 6, and they're trying to stop him. He's going to pick up about 3, but he'll be a good 2 yards shy of the first down.
That's that inside trap that they run, and the Crabbers were not fooled by it. Watch this. He comes back from the inside and gets the ball with a leading lineman that is pulled, and this is a 4th down.
Fourth down and about 2 now.
And we've seen him go with the 4th down and not afraid to do it anywhere on the field. They did it first time up close to the inside the 10, and this is inside the 35.
Well, we found out that Hampton's going to do it on a 4th down, too.
Yeah, a lot scarier.
So this is key play right here. Pack the pass, and he overthrows the player.
Wide open.
And the Crabbers will take over after an incomplete 4th down pass by Massaponax.
Oh,
They will take over at their own. Well, now they're setting the ball at the wrong spot. He needs to move it about 2 yards forward. There we go.
That was Josh Trevino on the
intended receiver.
Wide open.
That was their first pass attempt of the game, trying to fool Hampton on the play, and unfortunately for the Panthers, the ball was overthrown. So the Crabbers, after a 4th down stop, take over.
They did fool him.
Oh, they did, because he was open.
Wide open.
Here goes the Crabbers now. 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Taylor back to throw and then takes off and runs. He gets outside of the initial tackle and then forced out of bounds by number 1.
Looks like he picked up about 5 or even 6 yards on that,
Yeah, give him
Mike.
about 6 yards down to the 40-yard line.
And that was a design play for Tyrod. You just don't get a clean shot at him. Good job right here of a stiff arm. And then as he goes out of bounds, you still don't get a solid shot at him.
Never went down.
Never went down. And good 6 yards on that play.
Actually, where they spotted it at is a good 7 yards. They actually moved it forward another yard from where I thought they originally marked it.
Oh, we'll take it.
Yeah, 2nd down and 3 now for the Crabbers at the 41. Taylor in the shotgun. Again, that was a straight-up carry, but he's going to lose about 3 yards back to about his own 38-yard line.
Looked like the Panthers may have been in on the call that time, because they were not fooled at all.
It just didn't look like it set up at all.
And everybody is running towards the area where he wants to go, not only his blockers, but also the defense.
So the Crabbers are set up with a 3rd down and 5 at the 39-yard line. They need to get outside of their own 44 for the first down.
They get it to this 45. We know they got it.
Back to pass. There's a wide open. That's Isaac Hill out there at
nice
midfield.
Catch.
And he was looking right at the sun, too. Look at the shade behind the players in the direction that he called it.
What a great job that time by Isaac Hill, number 9, Isaac Hill, a 193, 6-foot senior.
He had to jump up a little bit for that pass and was looking right into the sun.
Good concentration.
1st and 10 for the Crabbers at the Massaponax 49-yard line. We're down to 9:15 to go on a running clock here in the 2nd period of play. The Crabbers out in front, 14-9.
What about
Taylor on a keeper, and big old number 75 had him wrapped up right off the get-go.
Number 75, Dominic Smith, 6'3", 285. The front 4, if we watch the replay, the front 4 on that defense, 245, 232, 282, 225. Good size on that front 4 for the Massaponax team.
It looks like Hampton is getting a sideline warning here by the referee, so that's the first one.
We got 2nd and 9.
Taylor with a pass over the middle. Oh, nice catch by number 10, Childress.
Childress again.
Again, looking into the sun.
Number 10, Tex, flex in. But, he's not looking right in the sun
that time
as
he was
bad
actually
as
looking to the other side of the field the way he was running. That was a great angle by the camera there, too.
Oh, our camera people, unbelievable. I'll talk about our crew in a minute.
1st and 10 now with the ball resting at the 27-yard line of Massaponax. Crabbers driving. There's a handoff to Clemens, and he is met about 2 yards in the backfield and will lose 2 yards.
He didn't get anywhere. Our camera people today, Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, Stephen Fryer, Mike Nowinski, Ron ESPN Baton, and Monique Bird is on the crane camera. Graphics and animation, Andy Foley. Slow motion instant replay, Andre Mattingly. Camera control, Sarah Myers. Production assistant, Renee Camden. Audio and chief engineer, Don Scharouse. And the director, producer, big guy, beam me up, Scotty Bowers.
2nd down and just over 11 now for the Crabbers. Back to passes Taylor. So
Just
pass
a little
that
low.
was just thrown too low to the back out of the backfield. That was Clemens, the intended receiver, incomplete. 3rd down and 11. He threw that one right at his feet.
Just tried to aim it in there instead of hitting him in the, give him a chance to run after he catch the ball that time.
So here we go again with another 3rd down conversion attempt by the Crabbers. 3rd and 11, and I would assume at this point, the way things have gone so far in this game, it'll be a four down play. They'll go on for it. Oh, Hill wide open down the sideline and it's stopped. Oh, there's a completed pass to Childress down inside the 5.
Well, I tell you what, Tyrod Taylor did a great job of avoiding a tackle and then squared his shoulders and threw that ball right into, who was that, Childress?
What an impressive play for the fact that he waited until the player got open. Great play inside the 4-yard line. 1st and goal for the Crabbers.
I tell you, as soon as he got open, he got the ball to him. What great vision Tyrod is showing.
Actually, the ball is sitting just shy of the 3-yard line. 1st and goal. 7 minutes and 5 seconds on a running clock here in the 2nd period of play. Taylor on a keeper up the middle, not much there.
Man,
maybe a yard.
He ran into big old 79. Whoa. Oh, 79, big guy. That's the Anthony Mahota, 6'6", 245 junior. He led that surge that time. Did
2nd goal now from the 2.
Well, he actually picked up about a yard.
Ball sitting right at the 2-yard line. 2nd down and goal now for the Crabbers. There's a pitch out here, and Clemens loses his feet again at the 5. So he's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
As he made the cut that time, his feet just slipped out from under him. There was lost of about 3. Yeah, because he was almost at the 2-yard line.
The 3rd and goal now from the 5 now. Instead, they had a 2nd down at 2 after a loss of 3. 6 minutes to go in the first half of play. Taylor on a keeper is rolling out to his left. Nice play by number 40 there as he forced him out of bounds. That's Hickman. He's going to end up losing about 4 yards on the play, back to their own 9.
Well, I think we might see Matt Mitchell going in to kick the field goal. It'll be from the far hash mark. And they're going to spot the ball. What about the 9? So that's 19 and 7. But it's a 19-yard field goal, but he'll actually be kicking from about the 15. About a 25-yard.
25-yard attempt by Matthew Mitchell out of the hold of number 21. That's Sean Fields. There's the snap. The kick is up and well short. I think it was partially blocked. No good, so the score remains the same with 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the 2nd period of play. Hampton 14, Massaponax 9.
Looked like to me that the center, the snap of the ball was just a little bit low.
The Massaponax holds.
Looks like we're going to see if we can see if anybody got a hand on it. Yeah, it looked like somebody did, but I can't tell from our monitor.
partially blocked by somebody coming through the line. We couldn't tell, but either way, it's no good. Massaponax holds the Crabbers and will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
And we got a holding call, I'll bet you.
That's the first penalty, I believe, on Massaponax. It looks like it's going to be a holding call right in the middle of the field.
Well, that's probably the first penalty of the game, isn't it? No,
and we've got a
had
Hampton player that's down, too, getting up slowly, and that's Meekins.
Yeah, he's walking a little gingerly on that left leg. No, Hampton had 2 encroachment penalties.
Right. Well, I'm talking about Massaponax. That's right, the defensive pass interference call earlier in the game.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, the first play of the game.
Well, I tell you, good thing Andy Foley's on the ball. Let us know what's going on.
Well, it's been a relatively penalty-free game with the exception of just a couple we just talked about.
Well, they're going to take that penalty and move them clear back to the 10-yard line. Let's listen to the official.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Now, let's see if they mark it from the spot or no. They didn't mark it from the spot because the spot was about 2 yards downfield. They took it from the original line, so it's going to be 1st and 20 with the ball sitting at the Panthers' 10-yard line. Now, this is a good opportunity if Hampton could be able to stop them here. There's a little bit of handoff is at the 33 or 32.
Misdirection, and I tell you, I don't care who it was, but Jacoby Fenner was where he's supposed to be.
That was McGehee.
Nice call, nice article in the paper about the Fenner family, and they call him the runt, Jacoby, but he plays a lot bigger. Like Mike Smith says, he doesn't know he's not big.
2nd down as the ball still sits at the 10-yard line. No gain. It'll be 2nd down and 20.
Minkins is still walking gingerly on that left ankle. Let's see what Massaponax are going to come up with. They're going to
hand the ball off to number 6. I believe the fullback right up the middle is going to pick up about 6, maybe 7 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and maybe 14 yards. Let's see where they mark it.
Big Tim Richardson in on to stop again.
They're almost playing like a no huddle here. They don't go into a huddle. They're sitting there waiting for the coaches on the sideline to pass out a formation for them and a play.
That was Tim Richardson, 6 foot 230 senior.
3rd and 13 now for Massaponax. There's that misdirection again to number 28.
And guess who was there? Fenner again.
That was number 28, Thaddeus Scruggs, as he's stopped again. So this time, Massaponax will be forced to punt as they are deep in their own territory.
Well, number 12, Spencer Boland, I was watching him practice punting for the game, puts a lot of height on the ball.
Mr. Taylor, who is back deep for the Crabbers, back inside his own territory to about the 45, and that's probably where he's going to have to take it. He is kicking into a fairly good wind, too, by the way. Low snap as he has to pick it up off the ground. Blocked by the Crabbers and picked up. He's inside and he's touchdown. Hampton. Blocked the punt. And is it number 10 that got it? Is it Childress?
I don't know who blocked the punt, but I'll tell you what a big defensive play. And we saw how bad they rushed the extra point.
Well, there was about 5 players in there, so it's hard to tell who actually blocked it. But I believe it was Childress that may have picked it up and run it in. We couldn't tell because it was surrounded by other players. Crabbers take advantage of a blocked punt, scored a touchdown, and now lead by a score of 20-9. Extra point by Mitchell is up.
And good.
Good.
I tell you one thing that this defense of the Crabbers, you cannot shut them down long. They just will fight you and scratch you and bite you and just do anything they can to get that ball, and they did it. And we got a guy over here, and behind us, Ronnie Staten is going, yeah. You want to say something, Ronnie? Oh, he don't want to say nothing. Okay.
He doesn't have to. He's sitting back. Here's our animation specialist.
Well, usually, he doesn't talk much because Nancy won't let him. So I thought, well, I'd give him a chance since Nancy's not here. But, he's I don't know what's wrong with Ronnie.
Well, my question is why does he hear and not Nancy?
But, well, that's true. She a whole lot better looking than he is.
So after a block punt, the Crabbers now lead 21-9. 3 minutes and 19 seconds to go.
A little bit of trivia here. Ronnie Staten's wife, Nancy, and Mike Smith's wife, Lisa, graduated from school together. Real good friends.
My sister graduated same year, too.
Well, there you go. We got another one. Okay. But that was my trivia. I had to talk about my bodyguard.
The bodyguard. So Bassett will come in now to kick off for the Crabbers after that great block punt by the Crabbers and touchdown. Takes it at about the 12-yard line.
That's number 6.
That's their big fullback who had that 51-yard run earlier, and he takes the ball all the way outside of the 40-yard line, near the 45, where the Crabbers finally pull him down.
That's E.J. Wilson. He's 5'9", 192 senior. He does a great job of following his blockers right there, and then after he's hit, picked up 2 or 3 more yards. Scotty's right about that. He just ran out of blockers.
So the Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to go here in the first half of play. Trailing the Crabbers 21-9.
Big guy got the ball again.
And he's going to pick up what looks to be about 6 or 7 yards.
And number 22 got it, and that's Minkins again, got his hand on his foot.
Pickup of just shy of 7. Make it 3rd down, or 2nd down and a long 3 here. Oh, and there was nobody there for him to hand off to, but he ends up picking up the 1st down. That being Kenny, the quarterback for the Panthers. He takes the ball out to the Crabber 42. He sticks out there to hand it off. There was nobody there.
Nobody was there, but made a nice gain out of a busted play. But you're right, they do not go into a huddle. And they may have caught themselves unaware that time, and somebody didn't get the call. Big guy got the ball. No,
nope. That's Kenny on the keeper. He falls down after picking up about 8 yards on the play. So they are now trying to drive to get a score before the end of the first half, as we're down near 2 minutes to go as the clock continues to run. Give them 9 on the play, 2nd and 1 at the Crabber 33-yard line.
Shades of no huddle, just trying to catch the Crabbers unaware, but they're not going fast. Big guy E.J. Wilson again on the carry that time, Mike.
Picks up about 2 yards on the play to the 30. That's good for a 1st down.
And if you have 1st down, you're going to have a stoppage of clock until they get it moved. And then once they get it spotted, they'll start the clock again.
We're down to 1 minute and 53 left as the clock just gets started. 1st and 10 from the Crabber 30. Back to pass. He's being flushed out by Childress, and he just throws the ball away.
And that's a flag.
Don't have that option in high school.
It's not the same thing. You watch college and pro, and they can do that. You don't do that here.
Not only that, it's a loss of down. And is it from the spot of the flag or from the line of scrimmage?
You mean the spot of the foul?
Well, the flag is at the spot of the foul.
The flag actually is a spot.
That's right. And the flag is sitting at the Crabber 44. That would be a major loss.
Really will be.
And number 10, Sherrod Childress, was flushing him out, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's going to also be a loss of down.
Listen to the official.
Be 5 yards from the spot.
Intentional grounding. Offense. 5-yard penalty from the spot. Loss of down. 2nd down.
2nd down, but look where they spotted the ball back to the 49.
That was a 19-yard loss. They are 2nd down in a long ways. 2nd and 29 now for the Panthers at the Crabber 49. They got to get all the way down to Hampton's 20 to get a 1st down.
Quarterback keeping it.
Nice tackle there by, is that Meekins, number 22? Yes.
I'll tell you, Meekins just been impressing me as a young man that is doing some stuff on defense today.
Yeah, he picks up about 14 yards on that run, and Massaponax calls timeout.
They got half of the yardage back, so we got a third and what is
like
about
third 15.
So that was a big gain for them. The quarterback is doing some things like Tyrod Taylor does. He's going to take it on his own shoulders and try to get something to go. Well, one thing that they Massaponax Panthers understand is they will get the ball to start the second half. So if they can score here and then get the ball to start the second half and go down and score, and then they're back in this ball game.
Let's see if the Hamptons defense can come up big again like they did earlier.
Well, I have a sneaking suspicion that they'll probably go. This is 4-down territory for them. I do not
at this point of the game, I would think so.
But you and I have seen Hampton with less than a minute to go get the ball and go down and score. So you can't. You think, okay, we'll turn the ball over to them, but sometimes the defense doing something good will really affect the offense. The offense get out there and make something happen.
Got a minute and 25 left here in the second period. Crabbers out in front, 21-9.
We will pick a player of the game for Hampton today. We're going to pick two of them, offense and defense, and they get a shirt that comes from the Tidewater Team Sports. And out there at 594-0411, talk to either David Chubb or Terry McNamara.
There's a handoff to number 28 outside. Nice play defensively by the Crabbers.
Who was that?
That was Scrubs on the carry.
24 for the Crabbers making the stop, and that's Marcus Bassett. 24 carries for...
That's the total yards that they have rushing in the first half.
24 yards for 95, and they got a bunch of that in the very first play of the game.
51 yards. So 4th down now and about 16 after a loss of 1.
You got some statistics from Killen about Hampton? Was that a no?
That was a no. 4th down and 16. They're in to punt the ball now to try to get Hampton back deep in their own territory. That was a nice catch by a Massaponax player at the 9-yard line. That's where Hampton will take over with 31 seconds left before halftime.
And you might think that Mike Smith will just take a knee.
No, not Mike Smith.
Not necessarily so.
If he does this, it will be a surprise to me.
Well, I tell you what, because this young man, he comes into this game thinking he can score from anywhere on the field, and he can.
Anytime.
And he can. It doesn't make any difference how much time is left or anything. He feels this offense can score.
First and 10 Hampton at their own 9-yard line. 31 seconds to go before half.
So Massaponax got 169 yards on 24 carries.
Sounded more like it. There is a carry by Taylor as he's forced out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. Gain of 4. 26 seconds left. Number 5, Jay Kinney on the force out there by
quarterback
Taylor.
Tackling quarterback.
2nd down and 6 now after a gain of 4.
Watch the replay here, and it's just a quarterback keeper. And right here, he thought he could turn it upfield, but Massaponax did a good job of bringing their defensive backs up to stop him. Number 30 for the Crabbers checks into the lineup.
Pierre Wynn.
That's Pierre Wynn, another young one of these running backs that all about the same size that the Crabbers have.
10th grader. Big young man for a 10th grader. There's a carry design play by Taylor. He breaks free. He's at the 25 to the 30, spins out and down. Ooh, that's almost a late
hit.
It
is.
And it was. Nice run.
It was.
About
he was down.
yards, and he gets hammered.
Watch this as he makes a couple of moves right there. He got slowed down, but he's down, and then he gets hit by big 79, and that's 15 yards.
15 big yards that's going to be added to that. So now you see that Mike Smith's not going to deaden the ball. They got the ball all the way out here near midfield already.
And we still got 16 seconds. Is that right? I can't read the clock.
16 seconds is what it looks like to me.
We got
personal foul. Defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So 1st and 10 for the Crabbers at their own 46. 16 seconds left. Crabbers have 4 wideouts, 2 to the top and 2 to the near side here. 1 setback. That is Fenner in motion. There's that forward pitch play to.
That looks like it was to Clemens.
It was the Clemens who doesn't get but maybe a yard, and the Crabbers, the clock has run out. So we're at the halftime. Virginia State AAA Division V state semifinals. Hampton 21 and Massaponax 9. Stay tuned for second half action here from Darling Stadium. Welcome back to Darling Stadium, everyone. Mike Hauser along with Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and Brent Musgrove. At the halftime, Hampton 21, Massaponax 9. What a great first half for the Crabbers, Bob.
It really was. We've got some statistics we'll give you. I've got the rushing yard for the Massaponax. That's basically what they've done. They've had 25 carries for 153 yards, with Scruggs 4 carries for 58 and Wilson 9 for 52, and the quarterback is right behind them.
And the Hampton Crabbers, 18 carries in the first half, 103 yards, and Tyrod Taylor, the big carrier, had 92 of those 103 yards in the first half.
Well, Massaponax attempted 1 pass, wide open receiver just overthrew him, and that's all. So they're 0 for 1.
And Taylor was 6 of 10 with a touchdown, 110 yards. Their leading receiver was Childress for 45 yards. Total yards.
You got total yards what?
Hampton had 213 total yards in the first half.
The Panthers had 153 yards. They've had 6 first downs.
Hampton had 9.
Penalties, they had 4 penalties, though, and that really kind of hurt them for 45 yards.
And that personal foul penalty hurt them, too. Penalties for the Crabbers, 2 of them in the first half for 10 yards.
Well, they were both encroachment penalties.
They were early. As a matter of fact, I believe it was in the Panthers' opening drive. The Crabbers were flagged twice for jumping off sides early. So at the halftime, we get ready to start the third period of play. The Crabbers out in front, 21-9.
And it was getting a little cloudy.
You can see the front's on its way in.
Yeah, that'll make it a little cooler down on the field.
Well, the Crabbers are set to kick off start the third period of play. That's Bassett getting ready to kick off for the Crabbers.
One thing that we've seen so far is that the Panthers have been able to really move the ball on kickoff. They've had good field position just about every time they've got the ball.
Let's see what Mike Smith and his Crabbers did. Oh, what a kickoff. That was a little unexpected. The ball goes into the end. I haven't seen that by the Hampton team all year.
Well, I tell you get fired up. Zoom's one of our corporate sponsors. Proud to have David Allen, Zoom's sponsoring again this year. Zoom supports the student athletes in the Hampton City schools. Great community partner. Watch the ball as it goes over the head. Did we have it on replay? I guess not.
Yeah, here it comes.
Now we got there we go. Tanya Super Pet Center, located at Langus Square Shopping Center. Stop by the reptile department and see Big Ben, a 17-foot Burmese python, in the subway at 1807 East Pembroke Avenue. Order your favorite combination on freshly baked bread, meat or vegetarian, from a 6-inch sub to the ones that Bob Killen liked, the 6-footers. Sure to satisfy any appetite.
So this will be the worst starting possession, field-wise, as far as where they're starting their drive at, the 20-yard line.
We will pick 2 players of the game from the Hamptons, and they will from the Hampton team this year, and they will get a shirt. It comes from the Tidewater Team Sports. They're located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in the Oyster Point section of Newport News. It's your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, and uniform and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to either David Chubb or Terry McNamara. Do you know what's going on?
I don't. The head referee is over there talking to the coaches of Massaponax, and not real sure what the reason for it is, but it's obviously holding up the game.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
The coaching staff over there seems to still not agree with what the decision was made, whatever it may have been. Either way, the Panthers will take over with their first or their worst starting position of the game at their own 20-yard line.
We'll see what happened. I was hoping the official would give us an explanation, but it doesn't seem to be coming. Oh, they wanted a different football, and they wouldn't let them bring it in. So because each team, when they're on offense, uses a ball from their school. And that big number 6.
Yeah, that's Wilson, their big gun as far as the running back's concerned. He picks up close to 4 on the play.
Well, that's Minkins and number 65 for the Crabbers in on the stop, and that's Willie Hainsworth.
Minkins has been on an awful lot of plays in this game so far today.
Hainsworth, 245, 6'3", senior. Picked up a good, almost 5.
Give them 4 on the play.
Yeah.
Second down and 6 at their own 24.
Look at the splits that they have in the linemen.
They leave the gaps open. He's back to throw again this time, and this time he lets it loose. This one's up for grabs, though. I believe the Crabbers have intercepted the ball.
And that looks like number 22 got it.
If that's 22, it is. That's Meekins. He's been everywhere today.
On defense, he has just really shown what to do. And I mentioned during the halftime, the hammered the quarterback as he was throwing the ball. But I said that if they start to pass, one thing they got to understand is the Crabbers will intercept the ball in a heartbeat. And here you go. You had the first possession of the second half, and you turn the ball over, and the Crabbers have got
Meekins is playing safety, and he was just sitting back waiting for the ball, and he lofted it up.
All he did was watch the ball, Mike.
That's right. Massaponax is what? 1 for 2 passing, but the one that they completed was to Hampton.
Well, I don't think we can call that a completion, but they won't.
Hampton takes over 1st and 10. Back to pass on first down and to a wide open. Oh, man, that was that Childress
right off his
in his hands. That would have been a big play down inside the 30.
We got a penalty, so it might have been brought back anyway. We'll see what the call is.
Holding against the Crabbers, but I tell you what, you can't put the ball any better on a receiver's hands than he did there. He hit him right in the chest.
Well, it looks like the spot of the foul is the 36-yard line, so they'll go 10 yards from that.
Yeah, they'll end up losing about 11 or 12 yards after the penalty on this play.
Listen to the official.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
It should be a first down and 21, depending upon where they mark it.
Jacoby Fenner checks into the lineup as Pierre Wynn comes out.
Well, they mark it from the original line, actually, so it's
well, they got a break on that.
They did. First down and 20. Back to pass again, over the middle again to Childress, wide open, down to the 50-yard line, and that's good for a first down.
Hey, let me tell you.
That's the same play from the other side.
But let me tell you, isn't that nice? You throw the ball to a guy, he drops it, you come right back to him and let him catch it. What kind of confidence does that show in this young man?
First and 10 after that big play by Childress. A nice pass by Taylor as he hit him right in the hands again. First and 10 right at midfield.
I'm going to ask Brent Musgrove. Brent, good touch on that ball? Beautiful, he says.
Like the way he says that, beautiful.
Beautiful.
First and 10 from the 50. There's a handoff up the middle to
Fenner,
and he's going to pick up maybe 2 on a play. I tell you what, whenever they've handed the ball off to a back, they've had to fight for the yards, that's for sure.
Well, that defense is really tough. Big Joe's number 79 and 56 in on the stop as he watched the replay. 56 is Zach E.
Go ahead. We talked about that.
Yeah, I talked. Zafili.
That's it.
Zafili. Yeah. Well, anyway, I apologize. I mess up. The coach told me, he said, if you get it right, you be the only one.
2nd down and 9 after a pickup of about a yard by Fenner. There's a little touch pass out to Childress again at the 30, all the way down to the 28-yard line. And Taylor got hammered right after he let go of the ball, and nothing was called.
Big number 75 made
Watch
the
him
hit.
Get hit back here.
That's
There's
Dominic
the ball's
Smith.
Gone.
Dominic Smith, he's 6.
What is he? 20 yards on the play.
6'3", 285.
Ready play. 20-yard gain for the Crabbers down to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 for Hampton as they are driving again.
Hampton says, if you're not going to let me run the ball, I'm going to pass the ball.
And right now, Hampton's receivers are catching everything he's thrown to them, and there's a draw play to Fenner, or to that wasn't Fenner, I'm sorry. That happened to be Clemens, number 23, and he ends up losing about 4 yards on the play.
You got to respect this offensive front group of this Massaponax.
4-yard loss on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 14.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's number 56. Tony Horn, Dominic Smith, and Robert Kay, that front 4 on defense, and they are really tough to run against. And then you got 4 linebackers that seem to put the hit on you.
Back to pass again. Taylor flushed out, running to the near side of the field. There's a wide open player down near the 10-yard line, and I believe
that's number 21, it looks like.
Is that Fields?
21.
Sean Fields, that's the guy that came in to take over for an injured player earlier in the season. 1st and goal from just inside the 10-yard line. Nice touch pass by Taylor on the play.
As he ran, he was chased out of the pocket, but he kept his feet looking down the field and found a wide open.
I've been extremely impressed today at how Taylor has moved out from the pocket and has been looking for the open receivers today.
But, you know, that offensive front 5 of the Crabbers, Garcia, Richardson, Ragsdale, Klein, and Sean Childress have doing a good job.
The handoff to the tailback, I believe that is
It's all
Clemens.
the way down to the 5. I think it's Clemens. Let me catch his number.
S23, it's Clemens. He's down to the 5. That's a 5-yard gain. 2nd down and goal from the 5.
Big number 89 for the Crabbers checks into the lineup. 89, Raphael McDonald, 6'4", 205 senior, playing wide out.
Clemens comes out, and that is Pierre Wynn is the lone tailback now. Back to throw, and whoa, he came through clean and got
Big
Taylor.
79 again.
He's going to lose 5 yards on the play.
79, that's the Jerome Brunt. I'm sorry, that's Anthony Mehota, 6'6", 245 junior. Just a junior.
Sets the ball back to the 11-yard line. It's 3rd down and goal from the 11 now for the Crabbers.
Big 3rd down play for the Crabbers.
I'm out by Hampton as coaching staff does not like the way they set that play up. So they'll take a little bit of time here to go over the play and make sure they got all everything set the way they're supposed to.
They're going to make sure that everybody is on the same page, because you want to make sure when you're down this far, you're going to come by with some points. You'd rather come by with a touchdown, but you can't kick a field goal. They did block 1 field goal attempt, but
6:53 remaining here in the 3rd period of play. So far, nobody has scored in this period, but Hampton is threatening.
Well, they had that big turnover. They're talking about the ball again out there. And I wonder who that one gentleman in with the orange hat. He went out to talk to him. He's from the other team or what? I'm not sure. All right, as we break from the sideline huddle, conferring with the coaching staff, Tyrod takes him out, going to be in the shotgun formation.
3rd and goal from the 11. After a timeout. Back to pass. He's being flushed out and down. He is down. As number 79 was in on him again.
Yeah, but that wasn't the first guy to come in on him. The first guy was the big guy, number 45, who is their linebacker, inside linebacker, Josh Wines, a junior, 6 foot, 254 linebacker, and that brings up a 4th down.
That's a 5-yard loss back to the 16-yard line, so the Crabbers will have a 4th down now and 16.
And they're not going to attempt a field goal. They're going to go for the touchdown, basically, because you can't pick up a 1st down.
If they don't score, though, they've got Massaponax back deep in their own territory. In the shotgun, the Crabbers have 4 wideouts. Back to throw, and there is a flag.
And that's probably illegal procedure. Let's see. And it looks like it's against the Crabbers. Yep, illegal procedure.
That's 5 more yards against the Crabbers. That'll put it back on the 21. It'll still be 4th down. They need to get some yards here, even if they don't get the score. They need to get them bottled up back in deep in their own territory.
Before the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Let's see what the play call the coaching staff came up with.
Well, I noticed that Massaponax is penetrating through that line right now.
Well, they're only bringing 4.
There's 79 getting through the middle again. There's a flag down. That's going to probably be holding, as Taylor is forced out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. So they will turn the ball over. The flag probably will be a hold call against Hampton, which they'll probably decline. Well, they may not decline.
Yeah, 10-yard penalty from that spot. But I tell you, that defense.
They're only rushing 3 players on.
No, they're rushing 4.
Well, they showed it on the replay.
Yeah, but they've got one way over here to the side that you couldn't see. But they are rushing, and those people are beating the offensive lineman right now.
So the question is do they take the penalty from there and give them another down, or they take the ball from the 15?
Well,
it'd
actually,
be 4th and a long ways.
The ball would be from the 20, and that's where the line of scrimmage is actually the 21. That's where they get the ball from.
They get the ball from where he was tackled out of bounds if they take the play.
Oh, okay. That's true.
That'll be at about the 16.
See what they're going to do. Let's listen to the official.
During the run, incidental face mask, defense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Well, that was different than what we all thought it was.
Well, there you go.
You have to wait till the referee makes the call.
Yeah.
So now it's 4th down and goal from the 10.
Well, isn't that a nice turn of events?
It was 5 yards from the spot of the foul, too. So,
yeah.
I mean.
So now you got a makeable 10 yards here to get it in the end zone.
A little bit better than what we had a little while ago.
It brings in Fenner, comes in with the play.
I thought that, I guess everybody else up here did too, thought it was a hold penalty where the flag was thrown.
Yeah.
So 4th and goal here at the 10-yard line.
Boy, I tell you, number 40 that time, right in the face of
Taylor.
Taylor could not do anything. DJ Hickman, 6'1", 185 senior. Their defense, they're doing some things that just.
When they get inside the red zone, they stiffened up themselves, so they take over. 1st down and 10 from their own 17-yard line.
What we might see is Hampton run some sprint outs to get away from that charge, because when he drops back in the pocket, he being Taylor,
they're still
defense
discussing
is right
the football. They brought a ball in to give to them to play, and now they're throwing it back out of the game.
They're not going to use that ball. I don't know where that ball came from, but they don't get to use it. All right, let's see
First
what.
and 10 now for the Panthers at the 17. There's a handoff to Wilson up the middle. Gets to the 20 and fumbles the ball. But they call him dead. They call him down at the 20, a gain of about 2 on the play.
62 for the Crabbers, and one of the tackles was Tim Richardson.
That ball skipped out of there quite quick, too. Maybe a replay might show whether or not he was down.
He picked up about 3 yards on the play.
Give him 3, second down and 7 at the 20.
The adjustment that the Crabbers have made defensively.
Kenny is under center. This direction comes back towards us by is that number 22?
Yeah, that was number
Shane Luden.
And that's Fenner in on the stop along with number 24, Marquise Bassett.
Picks up 2 on the play. That's going to bring up a third down, and it's like 3rd and 5 now.
Well, I think the Crabbers have figured out what was going on in this
See,
this
Bassett
offense.
was standing right there waiting on them, too. They're staying home. They're doing what they need to. I thought they moved early on that one. That's a run by number 28.
And he's close
Scruggs.
to the first down.
And it looks like he's got it by about a yard, according to the way the referee on this side's marking it.
And
it is.
First
First
down.
and 10 for Massaponax. That's their first down.
That's
of the
first
second
time
half.
they've run a pitch wide.
4 minutes and 33 to go.
But Brent made a good point that if you run the ball, your clock is also one of your opponents. You got to score a couple of touchdowns.
There's a handoff to Wilson up the middle, and every time he touches the ball, he gets 5 or 6 yards. He's going to pick up 7 out to the 35 this time.
And again, Minkins, number 22, hanging on for dear life. Right there, you see Minkins is the second tackler. Actually, I didn't get the shot of the first one. They give it to the big guy again this time,
This
but there's
time he
nothing.
got nothing. He might have got a half a yard, and that's it.
Big O 75 right there, ran right into him for the Crabbers, 75.
Pick up about a half a yard on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2.
That's Isaac Kane, 6'4", 305 senior. He said, you ain't going to go through me.
So, again, we come up with a 3rd and short for the Panthers at their own 36-yard line. 3:20 to go now in the 3rd period of play. Down by a score of 21-9. Tailback from, that looks like he's out to the 40-yard line. That's going to be good for a first down.
22 Minkins in on the stop.
That was Scruggs again out to the 40-yard line.
Along with Tim Richardson, 62. But, you know, that you let him pick up a little yardage like that. Clock is moving.
Pickup of about 4 yards. That's good for a first down. We're down to under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd period. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Back to throw is Kenny. There was a hold, but it didn't get called, and there's one that did get called. Ball's up in the air and almost intercepted.
But there was 2 holding calls. The second one got called.
You guess who almost came up with the interception? Number 22, Minkins again.
Watch this right here. There's the hold right there. Tackled him.
And watch this play. He gets bounced up where 2 receivers there, and there's Minkins diving for it.
I mean, that was not only a hold, it was a tackle. Looked like a takedown in wrestling.
I want to tell you that our concession stand now has no waiting in front of it.
Oh, absolutely. At this point, those 2 young men are doing a great job. I tell you, you're looking at player of the game. You got to look at Fenner and Taylor. And
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
offense, you got to look at Fenner, Taylor, Clemens Hill, and Childress. On defense, you got to look at Richardson, Fenner, Wardette, Minkins, and Hill, just to name a few.
You know, I've always thought that when they had a holding penalty, it went from the spot of the foul. But so far today, every holding penalty has been from the line of scrimmage. There is a screen pass out here to number 1. That's their first completed pass. He breaks free after a move and finally is brought down after a gain of about 16 yards on the play.
That was a nice little screen pass to the wide receiver.
Octavius Williams was the receiver.
Almost looked like a lateral. Number one.
A 2nd down and 4 after a gain of about 16 on the play.
That's Octavius Williams, 5'11 junior at 173.
There's a handoff to Wilson up the middle for a 1st down, a gain of about 6 on the play.
And it brings up a 1st down. Scruggs has carried 14 times for 67 yards, and Wilson 14 times for 70 yards. Now, is that pretty close to being the same? Both of those young men have picked up almost identical yardage, carrying the ball the same number of times.
1st and 10 now at the 48 or 47-yard line of the Crabbers.
This is a big series for the Massaponax Panthers. They need to get some points to get back in this game.
Back to pass again, being flushed out. I thought he was held. He puts that one up for grabs again. And again, it's intercepted by the Crabbers. I believe that's
Taylor.
Is that Taylor?
Yeah.
Breaks free and is brought down at the 41-yard line. So another interception by the Crabbers.
Well, and now that's 3 completions, 2 to the Crabbers and one.
That's right.
And watch it. He just throws the ball up for grabs. He just getting some pressure, but he throws it up and just hope one of his players are going to come down with it.
And Taylor's a little bit shaken up after he comes up after the tackle there. Took him a while to get up out of that pile. Looks like he's trying to dig dirt out of his helmet.
He may have some equipment problem.
So the referees will stop the clock to take a look at what kind of problems we've got with Taylor. I think that's what it was. I think he got an earful of turf on that play.
Good old Hampton turf.
So the Crabbers will take over after the interception. 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line. 1:29 to go here in the 3rd period of play. Crabbers still out in front by a score of 21-9. No scoring so far here in the 2nd half. That's a direct snap. I believe, was it to Fenner?
No, yeah, to Fenner.
So Fenner picks up 2 after the direct snap. By the way, the snap was a little bit high, too. He did a pretty good job getting that snap.
He's got good hands, young Mr. Fenner. Nice article in the paper about him and his 2 brothers and his dad and his half-brother they all played ball for Hampton High School.
Oh, 2nd down and about 8 now for the Crabbers. Ball just resting just short of their own 44. Taylor back in the shotgun. That's that shovel pass to Clemens. Picks up a couple of yards and gets out just short of the 1st down. It's going to pick up about 6.
I tell you what was nice about that time is he didn't pass the shuffle pass. Watch this until the defenders were right on him. They had already passed by Clemens before he threw that shuffle pass.
So he's a yard short of a 1st down with the ball resting right at midfield.
And you almost look for a quarterback keeper here, but I tell you, that's a tough line to run against. Last time he tried a quarterback keeper, he picked up a yard.
Oh, he threw him
offside.
I'm sitting here waiting for the referee to throw the flag, and they finally did.
One on the other side this time. There was no doubt about that. Almost made contact.
We couldn't help but see that one because the play's right in front of us.
I was looking right down the 50-yard line. Listen to the official.
Before the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Well, the Crabbers pick up another 1st down, this time via the penalty.
Well, you might just want to let this clock run down. If they started, just let it run down. Let him try to run a play.
And that's exactly what Taylor's doing. He's walking towards the sideline as he's going to let the clock run out. 2,
and he is saying, "Let's go, fellas, let's go."
So we have completed 3 quarters of play here at Darling Stadium. The Hampton Crabbers are out in front of the Massaponax Panthers by a score of 21-9.
All right, we got the young ladies down there. Let's go down to the field and Ron, ESPN Baton.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Talk to me, sweetheart.
This opportunity.
Well, now I can't hear you.
Can you hear me out there?
Now I can hear you.
Well, it's nice to sit next to you, dear, just for a second.
It is?
I wanted to take this opportunity to let the fans know that I've watched this for a long, long time and have enjoyed watching you for a long, long time, and Tim and everybody's been involved. And I got the opportunity today to let these people know that you're thinking about leaving us, and this may be your last year, but I don't think the fans know that you were recognized by the Peninsula Sports Club this year with the Bob Moskowitz Award for media. And it's for quite a lot of things, such as you've been with them since '82, since back old Channel 29. I remember when you were so young, you still wasn't shaving when you were doing that.
Well, actually, 1980s when I started.
Well, I didn't pick up until '82. I didn't get a TV set till then. But I just want to let people know that he was recognized for a lot of things, but he's been very innovative also. He was instrumental in starting the Players of the Game's offense and defense, and along with Zooms, he was very instrumental in initiating the GPA awards for the highest GPA for every sport that you cover, which has been quite an improvement and helped the local schools. And I just want to say the fans really need to realize we're going to miss this guy, and the Peninsula Sports Club did a great job in picking this man for this award, and I personally would like to thank you for being there for me and a lot of people who got to watch it when they couldn't get to the ball games because of health reasons or otherwise. It's been a great thing. And just want to say thanks, Bob. And I'm going to miss you, but we're not going to be far apart. I know that.
You got that right, and I appreciate it. And I'd like to thank the City of Hampton Schools for the opportunity of doing high school sports. This was a dream come true for me. And this is my 26th year, so, we've been doing it a few years. Thanks to Dr. Sam Still and Scotty Bowers, without whom this Channel 46 or 29 and 5, if you remember back that far, would never have been so involved in recognizing the high school scholar athletes. My longtime partner, Tim Cole, was very instrumental in my progress. I want to thank the present crew and past crews for making our broadcasts as innovative as they have, and they're second to none. It's been a blast, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
All right. Very good. Taylor being flushed out, and down he goes after losing about 2 on the play.
Well, that was I didn't expect that to come, but I appreciate that. Wow. Our fourth quarter brought to you in part by who? Oh, Ronnie Staten might know this person. Parkline Wood Funeral Home, located in Hampton Center Parkway, North Armstead Avenue. For information, give Nancy Staten, who is a manager, give him a call out there at 827-4670.
Bassett back to punt now as Hampton has a 4th down and 14. Nice little punt as it bounces inside the 15, inside the 10. A great punt down to the 6-yard line.
We'd like to welcome one of our other new sponsors for the fourth quarter, and that's Eric Thompson, Realtor with William E. Wood. Eric is a Hampton City School alumni and a past state champion in wrestling. Eric will help you sell your home or help you buy that new perfect home. Give him a call at 881-2004. And, of course, we're always glad to have Zooms. We're proud to have David Allen Zoom is sponsoring us again this year. Zoom supports the student athletes in the Hampton City Schools. And welcome a new corporate sponsor, Tonya Super Pet Center. And I got some things about that there. They've been on the peninsula for over 11 years, got 17,000 square feet of space. Wow, that was
a keeper by Kenny.
Yeah.
Picks up about 3 yards on the play, out to the 10-yard line. By the way, that was a 42-yard punt for Hampton that bottled them back up deep in their own territory.
We'll take that. Professional on-site grooming at Tonya Super Pet Center by Jamie. And, of course, Heath Patel at the Subway at 1807 East Pembroke Avenue, where they have subs, wraps, cookies, salads, and more. Bread is always freshly baked. Stop in and say hello. Try something good.
Well, so far here in the second half, it's been a defensive battle. Neither team has scored so far. That, again, is Wilson on the carry up the middle of the field, and he's close to a first down. Looks like he may be about a yard shy.
But right now, not only the Hampton Crabbers are an opponent, but that clock is their opponent too.
8:41 on a clock that is running. Now they stop it because I believe they're going to measure. Here's the key thing that's happened so far in this game. Penalties. The Massaponax Panthers have been penalized 7 times for 75 yards.
Wow, that's big.
Grabbers 4 times, 25 yards.
Well, that's 75. That's a big penalty.
So they're about a half a yard shy of the first down.
Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate it. And thank you, crew, Scotty, guys.
25 big ones, huh?
Yeah, 26th year. But we still got one more game to play.
Absolutely. And at this rate, it's going to happen. Right now, Massaponax is doing nothing to help themselves by running because all they're doing is running the clock down.
Well, if you look at what they passed,
That's right.
three
times, twice went complete to Hampton, right?
Yeah. Big guy with the ball, looked like Scruggs that time, went over to the left side, and Myatt picked up the yardage that time.
Looks like he's got about 3 yards on the play. That's enough for the first down. That'll give them a 1st and 10 at their own 18.
Yeah, you watch it. That was big number 33 that time with the ball for the, and that's McGehee. McGehee is 5'10", 206 senior.
Had a couple of runs today, not a lot. This is number 11 coming to the near side, Chase Rice. Wide receiver.
Well, the reason that quarterback Kennedy has had a couple of interceptions
and back to throw
is because of the pressure.
He's being flushed out. Now he's going to run. He's at the 20. Nice block right there, and there's Fenner.
Fenner, look at that tackle.
Fenner tackles him. He gains about 11 and a first down. Well, boy, did he run a long way to get 11 yards.
Well, he got the first down. That's what he needed to do. But I tell you, he's going to won a lot more yardage than 11. And right here, watch the replay. Did a great job of being flushed out of the pocket. And I thought right here is number 55 for the Crabbers who's going to catch him.
What a great tackle by Fenner there.
Yeah, and that was Sean Childress, senior 6'3", 237. Almost got him by the collar.
There's a pass I think that was a backwards pass, but they're not going to call it.
No, that was not. It was a lateral. I thought from our angle it was a lateral, but we're not looking right down the line.
Well, lateral on an incomplete, if it was incomplete, would be a fumble, right?
Yeah, so we got to call it a pass.
Yeah, that's what the referees called it.
Yeah,
that's close.
It was close, but from our angle it almost looked like it could have been a
But that brings up a 2nd down at 10.
See what they do, but they got to put the ball in the air, and I think that's what he's going to do.
There again is the pass out here to the near side flat. It was it didn't go anywhere.
And big 55 again.
Had 55, 66, and Fenner.
I tell you, Sean Childress doing a great job. He's staying home, and he knows what's supposed to be happening, and the clock is running, and that's really a big a big opponent right now for the Panthers.
Kyle Six was also in on that.
We got number 11 as a whiteout down here at the bottom of the screen. That's Chase Rice.
Back again to pass. Being flushed out. They had him there in the backfield, and he gets away from him. Throws the ball low, incomplete. It was intended for number 2, Byron Allen.
Well, let me tell you something that really is going to affect their team. They're not used to passing. They're not used to coming from behind. They're not used to fighting the clock to get the score, and he is rushing. He's not comfortable passing the ball. You can see that.
7 minutes and 17 seconds to go here in the 4th period of play. The Crabbers out in front, 21-9, and the Panthers are setting up the punt.
Well, I was talking about Jay Kenny. I'm talking about him, but Jay Kenny, number 5, is just not comfortable passing the ball. The Crabbers blocked one punt today and got
Taylor
a score
back,
off of it.
Back at his own 35 is Taylor. Setting up for the return, a nice punt. That pulls him back to the 25 where Taylor is waiting for the defense to set up. And he gets, what a block. That's a good block. He gets outside and eventually is ran out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. So he went from north to south and picks up about 2 yards on the return.
Well, he went more east and west. But let me tell you something. what you got to, he's saying, I'm going to try to get this ball and take some clock out because he is a very exciting runner and very hard to bring down. But you got to take your hat off to Massaponax. They're very disciplined in their routes and where they need to be on special teams because there's just nowhere for Taylor to go that time.
Well, that was a 50-yard punt.
Wow. We're talking about how well that guy was putting the ball.
Yeah, the kid can play.
Yes, he can.
He's got a foot.
He got two of them.
The one that uses to hit the ball with is a foot. Looks like he's going to pick up about 2 on that run.
Jay Kelly, one pass, 1 for 4 with 2 interceptions and 17 yards. E.J. Wilson, 12 rushes for 54. Thaddeus Scruggs, 8 rushes for 78. And Jay Kenny, 12 rushes for 54.
Second down and 8 now for the Crabbers.
And the clock is running.
6 minutes and 25 seconds to go. All resting at the Crabbers' 29-yard line. Second down and 8.
I tell you, it's really getting cloudy.
We got the
lights.
Front's definitely coming in.
We got the lights on.
Back in shotgun now is Taylor. Back to throw. Being flushed out, waiting for an open receiver. And 75 gets a nice little block there, but he ends up losing a lot of yards. They still didn't tackle him, but he's forced out after losing almost 10.
Well, I tell you, that's brings up a 3rd and real long.
Well, the defense has pulled everybody back to rushing 3, and everybody else is back in coverage.
It looks like about 5 that rushing that time. Because these guys are big.
Yeah, they're big.
But 3
big,
5 bigger. Bigger, biggest.
Bigger, and okay. Third down and 19 now for the Crabbers.
Banner checks into the lineup, brings the play in.
Tyrod's got to be getting a little bit winded here because he's been running all over this field.
Well, not only he's been hit a few times today too.
Isaac Hill is wide to the near side. That's a draw play as he takes it up the middle and it cuts back outside, and they had that well covered.
That was a designed play, just a quarterback draw. And what they want to do is not anything stupid. Keep the clock running. We're under 6 minutes to go.
Picks up a couple of yards at best. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 17 now as Bassett will go into punt. Another 42-yard punt right now would be nice.
Yes, it would. And if you punt it away from the deep man,
you'd be putting it over this way towards the Hampton sideline, and that's what he does. He calls for a fair catch at midfield. That's a 30-yard punt where Massaponax will take over 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. 5:21 to go here in the game. Hampton out in front by a score of 21-9. Think about our players of the games here before too long.
I tell you, I really have been, and I tell you. Got some players that have done right well
there
today.
Goes Wilson again up the middle. That's a big gain out to the Crabber 35-yard line. The 15-yard scamper for a 1st down.
Watch the replay right up the middle. They have had success with this for the most part. He's just a hard guy to bring down.
1st and 10 at the Crabber 35 for Panthers.
Under 5 minutes to go in the game. Big guy again with the ball, and Hampton says, we'll let you run it. We'll give you a few yards at a crack.
Then we'll sit there and sit on you and wait for the referees to untangle us while the clock continues to run.
Just take as much time off that clock as we can.
Gain of about 4, 2nd down and 6.
Number 62 on the bottom of that
Number
pile.
33 on a carry. Nice gain. That was Ryan McGahee as he carries the ball down to the Crabber 21-yard line where they're going to pick up another 1st and 10. 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go now in the 4th period of play. 21-9 Hampton. Panthers now driving the ball and trying to get a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
E.J. Wilson was out, came back in that time.
This is a screen play. It's real obvious the way it's being set up, and he's got a host of blockers. That's Wilson. He's still going to pick up about 8 yards on the play.
He's short of the 1st down, but that's a nice call. First time the Crabbers have got a lot of pressure on him, and you can see everybody went for the quarterback that time, and nobody stayed home.
That was such a design that he had the entire offensive line in front of him. Timeout now is called by the referees to stop the clock.
Oh, we got an injured player on the field walking off. Looks like number 60, I think it's 65. No, 66 for Massaponax. 66 is, let me get him. Ryan Kaywood. He's 6 foot 240, 224. They got some big guys on this team.
Second down and 1 from the Hampton 11 or 11. It looks like it may be on the 12. If they get to the 10, it'll be a first down.
Give the ball to the big guy.
I'm not sure he got to the 10.
I don't think he got there. In fact, of where he's spotting the ball, it's short, almost at the 11.
Like they're going to mark it at the 10, and they gave it to him. So it's a first down and goal just outside. Well, maybe is it going to be set on the 10? If the ball's...
they put it right on the 10-yard line.
So it's first and goal from the 10 because the sticks are coming down. First and goal, ball resting right at the Crabber 10-yard line. So the Crabber's defense is going to have to really come up strong now. Down to 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. This is a pass play that was thrown behind the intended receiver, who was number 1.
Octavius Williams.
He's the only one that has a reception for Massaponax in the game.
But that ball was just thrown behind him. As you watch right here, he was open on the slant, but you got to throw it in front of him.
Second down and goal from the 10.
That incompleted pass stopped the clock. You just read my mind. Well, I read yours. Said it before you could think of it.
And there's all kind of flags going up this time, and I'm not sure if the Hampton was drawn offside or they jumped.
Let's see what the...
Looks like the way the Panthers are clapping their hands, it may go against Hampton.
Before the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
So with 3:25 to go, they have a second down and goal, this time at the 5.
Quarterback keeper, and
he's in for the touchdown. Massaponax Panthers score on a 5-yard run. That brings the score to 21-15 with 3:19 to go.
Well, a 2-point conversion is not going to do them any good. They've got to get 2 scores. And even with a 2-point conversion, they'd still have to get another touchdown because there'd still be 4 points down. Well, this is number 12 in to attempt a point after Spencer Bolin. And 22 is the holder. 22 is Shane Ludden, and I believe that might be he's just a sophomore. He may be
He almost blocked that one.
Maybe the
up and good though, as it just gets over, and it's 21-16 now.
As I was saying, that may be the coach's son. Number 22 was doing a holding for the point after. Now we might see an onside kick here.
With 3:19 to go here in the game, Hampton still holds the lead, but now it's been cut to 5 as it's 21-16.
Massaponax still got all 3 of their, as we watch the replay of the touchdown, still got all 3 of their timeouts left. So the Crabbers have got to, they can't celebrate too soon. They got to get some first downs and run some clock off.
7 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in that game.
7:19 to go in regulation play. Crabbers have a 5-point lead, 21-16.
I would be looking for the onside kick. But their defense is pretty tough. They may say, we want the Crabbers to start from the 20. So they may kick it all the way back.
With their 3 timeouts, that might be a good thing to do because they're not set up with an onside kick. Winner is one of the deep backs for the Crabbers. Well, Spencer Bolin to kick off for Panthers. He does kick off. This one will go in the end zone as he kicks it all the way 3 yards deep in the end zone. So the Crabbers will take over. First and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They're going to need to pick up a couple of first downs here to run out the clock.
You know that the Crabbers have had some problems running the ball today.
The only one that hadn't really is Taylor. When it's been a design play, he's done well. The front line of Massaponax has done a very good job containing Hampton's running attack. Isaac Hill comes wide to the near side. There's two split out to the top of the screen. Trying to draw the players offside. He wastes the timeout.
No, it's not a waste. It's a design play. If you don't draw them offside, then you call timeout. And, you know, Hampton doesn't need to save timeouts.
No.
Right? So at this point, they're just trying to get a little edge that time, get a 1st and 5 rather than a 1st and 10, and that's not a bad call.
So we're still sitting at 3:19 to go in the fourth period of play. Hampton uses their second timeout of the second half. That'll leave them with one. Massaponax has 3. Crabbers out in front, 21-16.
So Massaponax has got to get the ball back and score. Hampton needs to get a couple first downs and run the clock out and get Massaponax to use up their 3 remaining timeouts. That was a good drive. How far was that drive, by the way, that they just scored on? Where did they start from? 50-yard line, wasn't it? Yeah, it's right at because the fair catch was right at the 50.
1st and 10 at the 20 for the Crabbers. Taylor hands the ball off to Fenner. He fumbles the ball. And that's number 3, Devin Collins, on the recovery. At the Crabbers' 23-yard line.
Everybody grabbed down, got a hold of his arm just as he went through the line of scrimmage. And that puts the pressure on the Crabbers now. Watch it as he goes through. There was a nice hole, but the guy just reached out right there, number 5 it looked like, or 3, might have been number 3, Devin Collins. I couldn't get his number.
The Fenner took the handoff and it was pulled out of his arms, and the Massaponax Panthers take over. That's quarterback on a keeper, may pick up a yard on the play as Kenny picks up a yard. 2nd down and 9. 3 minutes to go. Crabbers defense really has got to come up big here now.
Now you want to get it to cause a turnover. You know, sometimes this kind of a huddle without a huddle, you got to get everybody on your.
There's Kenny again. He's not going anywhere. He's going to end up losing a couple yards back to about the 19.
It was 55 and 24 for the Crabbers. 55. That's Deshaun Childress. We've talked about him before. 24 is Marquise Bassett combined to make the stop. So they got a 3rd and 11. Watch the replay right here. Boom, he tried to keep it, and man, he just ran into a solid wall.
Good thing he held on to the ball because the guy that was his pitch man, there's a reverse. Oh, it's a pass. And that may be intercepted.
And it
Intercepted in the end zone by Tyrod Taylor. Oh, man.
Is he
talking about a drive killer?
Whoa.
So Taylor intercepts the ball on an end-around pass.
What a nice call, but what a great defensive play.
Well, he had him covered like a blanket, too. He wasn't open.
Taylor wasn't fooled.
No.
Was not fooled by the call.
So the Crabbers with 1:54 left. Let's watch the replay. Look at the reverse.
That's number 11 is passing the ball. And you go down there, and Taylor has a better position on it than the other one. Number 11 is Chase Rice.
Oh, 1st and 10 for the Crabbers with 1:54 to go here in the fourth quarter. The ball resting at their own 20, and that's a designed keeper right up the middle by Taylor.
And it's quick timeout by the Panthers.
They need to get at least one field goal.
Is that 3 turnovers?
That's 3 turnovers, all 3 interceptions.
Crabbers
and
had
I believe
one.
Taylor has 2 of them. Isn't that correct? 2 interceptions? Taylor has 2 interceptions, so he's done everything that could be asked of a player on any team today.
We got to think about our players of the game, and it's
Well, there's my choices. You can look at that and make your decisions. and this one here has really done great.
No, there's no doubt about it.
So we have 1:50 to go. Massaponax calls timeout after that 1st and 10 keeper by Taylor. Pickup of about 2 yards on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8. After the timeout. 2nd down and 8 yards now for the Crabbers. Taylor under center. They have 2 wideouts to the top of the screen. Isaac Hill down here to the bottom, and it's going to be a rollout to his left. This time he's going to carry it. Don't go out of bounds, and he doesn't. Great job by Taylor to keep the clock running.
Smart.
Yep, and now the Massaponax Panthers call timeout.
That's where I'm going.
Okay.
1:30, and that is their 2nd timeout.
Pickup of about 2 yards on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and long 6 now for the Crabbers at the 24-yard line. 1:30 to go.
Well, this will tell us how much confidence the coach has in the passing attack, because you need to pick up. If you pick up a 1st down, it pretty well seals the Panthers' faith.
They got to pick this up, and I believe that little pass over the middle to the tight end, they're doing a crossing pattern, might be a good play here. 3rd down and 6 at the 24.
All right, let's see what we're doing.
Hill is wide to the near side.
On their feet.
Fenner is also in the slot to the left. Now he goes into motion, drops back. They're going to run it. That didn't fool anybody as he ends up losing 4 yards on the play.
And that brings up their the 3rd and final timeout.
That was a handoff to number 23, Clemens, that loses 4 on the play.
I tell you, that defense just is so hard to run against.
1:32 to go here in the 4th period as Massaponax has taken their final timeout. Hampton has a 4th down and 10. Bassett, number 24, going in punt formation.
Got here. It's really just a real chess match out here today.
4th and 10. Bassett in punting position. Number 1, that's Octavius Williams, and number 5,
Jay Kenny. Both of them back.
Both of them deep back here at the Hampton, or at midfield. There's the punt. It's going to be short towards the Hampton sideline. It goes out of bounds at midfield.
At the 50.
Well,
no.
Well, he moves 40, it up a yard and a half.
They just had to get the spot from the official.
So the ball's going to be spotted inside of the Hampton 49-yard line with 1:26 to go in the game. Massaponax will take over 1st and 10.
And the pressure is on both of these teams. Hampton defense to come up big and stop them, and the Panthers needing to get a score. They got to score. This is their season will end. Almost too much pressure. I got to stand. Well, let's see what the coaching staff from the Massaponax has come up with.
Back to pass as Kenny's being flushed out. Is passed over here to number 90. He's going to end up being forced out of bounds on a 5-yard loss. Great defense.
And the clock is still running.
I think he just stopped it.
No, he didn't. He
did keep it running.
He waved it. He watched the official. He'll see him move his arm to keep the clock running.
I thought he went out of bounds. Let's see. He did go out of bounds.
Okay, but
he's still running it, though. It's down to 57.
The official said run it.
Yep. Second down and 15. Back to passes. Kenny over the middle is completed to number 1. He's down to the Crabbers 40. He's a yard short of the first down.
Which means the clock is going to continue to run.
So now it is 3rd down and 1 at the Crabber 40.
Got to pick up the first down. Oh, they fumble.
Hampton's got the ball, and they're going to win this one. Pass it on the recovery of the fumble.
4 turnovers.
4 turnovers has definitely been the key to this game. 3 interceptions and a key fumble right there.
They all were done by the defense. What the defense was doing, Hampton defense came out and just did not allow them, as we watched the replay. You had to pick up the first down, but you carried the ball.
He carried the ball way out there, and it just not knocked loose, and the Crabbers take over 1st and 10 at their own 43 with 24 seconds left.
I got one more game.
Great. two turnovers in the last minute of play.
Hey, takeaway. Crabbers are doing a game called takeaway.
4-0 in this game. Been a key so far. The Crabbers haven't given up the ball today.
One time.
They did. Okay, that's right. And a smart play as the Crabbers will kneel down.
And that's it.
They don't have to run another play.
They don't have to do anything. They don't have to do anything.
So they will sit there and watch the clock run down as the Hampton Crabbers will come out victorious in this, and they will play next weekend. At this point, presumably in Richmond for the state title.
And they will probably play Stonebridge.
And there it is. Final score, Hampton 21, Massaponax 16.
Wow, what a game. What a game.
Did we give our players of the game?
Yeah, well, we didn't get them up on the screen. The players, where's our players of the game?
Here are the player of the game, Sherrod Childress and Aubrey Minkins. Minkins defensively played a great game today. Childress has some key receptions.
Hey, we could have gone with Fenner and Taylor and a lot of other players.
Absolutely. Final score, the Hampton Crabbers 21 and the Massaponax Panthers 16. Mike Hauser along with
you get the sponsors?
Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and Brent Musgrove will go ahead and say the sponsors.
We got to go to
Today's game has been brought to you by Zoom Sitco with locations throughout the peninsula. Subway, located 1807 East Pembroke Avenue. Great subs, salads, and wraps. Tanya's Super Pet Center, where pets are not just animals, at 49 West Mercury Boulevard, and in part by Eric Thompson, Realtor. Call Eric to buy or sell your home, 881-2004, and in part by Parkline Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the manager. Next weekend, next Saturday, the state championship as the Peninsula District, the Hampton Crabbers, have returned to the title game. Hope to see everybody there next week. Good night, everyone.